secret recipe because everyone loves a schnitzel. We call them cotelette. Yeah, so people do like, you know, they batter the eggs, they dip them in the eggs, then they dip them in the breadcrumb, and you can do parmigiana milanese, okay, cotoletta milanese. The thing is, your meat, you don't want it thick, okay, so it's got to be thin. This is chicken.
You gotta be careful with chicken.
You want it nice and thin because you want it cooked through.
Because questa va grill, non va tanto di più olio.
Even if you do it in the oil, you want it to be thin. Questa è troppo grossa.
With the chicken, you gotta be sure they are cooked when you eat.
Yes.
So that's how thin they are. So these have been butterflied.
Io non metto olio. Io quando faccio i cotolette non metto olio. Non metto sale.
Yeah, no, I know.
Okay.
Because we do it in the breadcrumb mixture. All right, so what I'm going to show you is you can do this also with pork fillets. Now this was my girello. That's like the piece. It's cut. That's how big it is. And then he butterflies it and it becomes this big.
Yeah, it's very thin.
All right? Because we'll let you know what the secret is in a minute. Because most people, when they make a cotoletta, they beat the egg wash, they dip it in the egg wash, they beat it in the egg wash. Mama's just telling me to pull it apart so it's not just stuck there, and then they dip it in the egg wash, and then they dip it in the crumb mixture, and then they deep fry it. So we non lo lavo. C'è sangue. So the trick is, sorry, there's so much happening. We don't deep fry our cotolette.
Right.
And I'm going to tell you why and what the secret is. So my girlfriend, Demetra, I said to her, oh, I'm doing this thing with my mum. We're taping her. Would you want to see the videos? And she said, oh my God, I would love to. Do you remember 20 years ago when your mum showed me how to make the cotolette? She said, I've never fried a cotolette since, and my kids love it. We make it once a week. So you can do it with pork fillet, you can do it with chicken breast, you can do it with beef, and when it comes springtime, you can do it with veal.
Oh, veal.
Oh, it's divine with veal. All right, so this is the secret. Don't have a heart attack. Instead of egg wash, good quality olive oil. Look, Lou.
Wow. Holy cow.
Basta.
Basta.
So, metto più se ce n'è bisogno. So you basically massage the oil into the meat.
Wow.
Right? And the oil coats the meat. Now, I told Adrian Richardson from La Luna this trick, and he goes, oh, do you mind if I put it on the menu? So I don't know if he did, but it's divine. So, of course, you're using olive oil, but you're not frying it. We're going to, so we've dipped it in the olive oil, then we're going to dip it in our breadcrumb mixture, not just straight breadcrumbs, which I didn't get the breadcrumbs, I have to go get them. And then we put them in the griller. The other good thing about this, hold on, this is the best, is that if you layer them with Glad wrap in between in a container, you can put them in the freezer and then you just get the cotolette and you don't have to defrost them because they're thin. You put them under the griller and bang.
It's better.
Well, you don't have to, but yeah.
But you don't have
But they take literally 10 minutes to defrost because they're thin. So you basically will take out, this is, you'll see it later, this will be coated. You'll take out this frozen piece of cotoletta, you let it sit for 10 minutes, you pop it under the grill, cook one side, cook on the other side, make your salad in the meantime, and Bob's your uncle.
one patata, one piselle in the plate, insalata, one of these you make you there.
Delicious.
So, and we don't salt
You've
it.
got a lot there. That's a
Yeah,
lot.
it's going to absorb it. Lovely,
No, but I mean, a lot of fish
moisturising.
in there.
Oh, well, if you're going to make it, Lou.
I know. I don't think I'm used to the boldness.
Well, for example, if I had 6 people over tonight, I'd make this, I'd have some left over, and in 2 days' time, it's gone.
When you our kids, when we come in Australia, it's overland.
No hundreds and thousands, even though I desperately.
No Vegemite sandwich.
Well, we did have
I didn't
Vegemite
like
at home.
Vegemite sandwich. I used to eat tomato sandwiches.
Oh, you're so sophisticated, Lou. I've got to go get the breadcrumbs.
I love tomato sandwiches.
Questo l'ho fatto io. So if I have stale bread, I make my own breadcrumbs.
Non hai uno di queste grandi.
Più grande, no.
Ma anche una pentola che la laviamo questa pentola perché c'è qua 2 chili di...
Yeah. We're just discussing that we need...
Sai perché? Perché
size.
quando mischio tutte cose.
I need a big one because I need to make
Quando
enough
tu
bread
hai
mixture. Because in the bread mixture, we put breadcrumbs, Gran Padano cheese, chopped basil, chopped garlic.
Grate pepper.
Yeah, you grate pepper and salt. We put the salt in the bread mixture, and then you coat it in that, and it's done. So it's not just your old bread mixture routine.
With an egg and
No.
flour.
I have to go find. I've got a big pot.
It's better to mix all together. Doesn't matter if it's in the you put it in the freezer. And when you make a meatball, you use what?
So I'm going to use this pot to put my breadcrumb mixture in. Basta.
You have it.
Ah, allora.
Because quando tu non ti misti, questo ce ne senti io, o formaggio c'è io.
Pensi che basta quello pane perché non ho più.
No,
Alright.
no.
I have to go get. Well, now where did I put? Because yesterday I did a big clean of my laundry where I've got all my pantry stuff.
You gotta go buy.
No, I've got it here. I've got to remember where I put it. Think. I'll be back. So, we love our bread. Currently, I've got dried hard bread. If you ever see this in the shops, just while my mum's pouring, in terms of the measurements, as you can see, we've got like 2 kilos of meat more. So probably a packet of breadcrumbs, because I've already used the ones that I've made. So we already used half of the breadcrumbs that I had made. So what's this one? Is this like a kilo? $7.50.
Okay.
Yeah. Then you put a big bunch of basil. You cut the stalks off, chop it up finely. Now, because we're putting garlic in there, people don't like to have pieces of garlic. Finely grate it, and that will infuse. I just want to show you this. If you ever go to an Italian deli, this one's broken. It doesn't matter if it's broken, but if you ever see this dried bread, my kids love it. This is the wholemeal version, or else it's white. So what the Italians do when they make their bread, they slice it up and then they dry it out in the oven. Slow, right? It's just broken, but that doesn't matter. So it can look like this, it can look long, but it's hard and dry. So what you do, you reconstitute it in summer. This is the best. You just quickly run it under the tap, cold water, put it on your plate. Then you get tomato, fresh tomato from the garden, and you cut it up and squeeze it over. So you've got all the pulps and pieces. Then you get a little bit of salt. Yeah, so you really want to squeeze it, get the pulpy fresh, and you can cut it up too.
You put a little bit of oregano.
A bit of salt and a bit of olive oil, and the water's reconstituted it, and it's divided. So you get a crunch and the softness.
Amazing.
So if you ever see it, buy it, and it lasts.
That's what you do with it.
Well, that's what we have for merenda. If I make that for the girls, they love it.
Miranda.
Yeah.
So it's just nice on a summer night where you just don't want to eat much, because bread in itself isn't fattening.
No. I'm just going to turn myself up here.
You don't have to do that, but you can guess, how much cheese are you going to put in it. Okay, I want it to taste like this.
Poi seconda ma la faccio così.
Yeah, and then of course you have to mix it through, make sure the garlic gets put through, the pepe.
Smell is beautiful in here.
Yeah, so then you put the salt and pepper just on its own. Ma questo pepe non è che grattugia tanto bene.
Ora tu stesso un po'.
Yeah. No, I just want to show you perché I'm just saying
Ragioniere.
my pepper grinder is sometimes there's a little bit of bigger pieces, but you want the pure, vero? Okay, now remember we've got quite a bit, so we've got we've got about 750 grams of bread. 2 big handfuls of that. So you said between the lasagna and that, we've used half of it.
Un poco di formaggio e focaccia. That's it.
Right. Now I'm going to go and get my blended dish per mettere nella freezer. Go for my layers. All right, now I'm going to go and get my special dish.
La blendereba là e poi facciamo.
Okay. So these really, they don't take long. Like you're not preparing, not cooking anything, but it just takes a while just to prepare everything and to make them. But they are worth the effort. Okay. Because I normally lay them in here, but we're going to do the chicken.
Beautiful. Look at that.
I'll get rid of this so you can see.
Beautiful. Look at that.
All right. Sorry about using Glad wrap. Try not to use too much plastic, but faccio una e poi metto l'altro on the top, all right?
Allora, vieni qua.
I know, Mum. I know what you mean.
Mettilo qua.
Right.
Aspetta. No. Bravo.
I know.
Aspetta un
Right.
po'.
So we've put.
Oh, yeah.
We're just going to layer them now. As you can see, as you go out.
Queste sono le vodka. A me non me...
Ma lo faccio io.
No, volevo dire, sogno...
A workout. My mum said this is a workout.
Yeah, exercise, definitely.
Qualcuno ti paga che fa questo. E gente che non
So you've got to press it down so the olive oil absorbs it. As you can see, they look amazing.
Oh.
These are everyone's favourites. Everyone's like, Nonna, you made cotelette?
Same butcher, I forgot to ask for the meat.
Yes.
Oh.
Look, you've got to find a good butcher.
Yeah.
All right? It doesn't have to be Nina and Joe's. It could be, my mum goes to her IGA butcher,
Yeah, he's
Non
good.
conosci per
Michael,
50 anni.
but she's been going, she's known him on and off for 50 years. A butcher to many communities is very important. They have to be trusted. They used to have their, my parents used to love their Abruzzese butcher. They always go there.
Sai, Giovanni.
Did he die? It's that generation. They work hard, they rock up every day, they're there every day. But you would know that the meat is going to taste good, it's tender. Because they had to give you good meat because you wouldn't go
People
back.
would go back.
You wouldn't go back.
I used to say to this Johnny, datemi buona carne. Ma signora, come ti posso dare mala carne se ti piglio ogni giorno?
So she used to say to this guy, Johnny, was he from Dad's town?
La
Close.
Is it good meat?
He was a good man, and she used to say, Johnny, give me good meat. He used to say, how can I not give you good meat if I see you every day?
Fantastic.
Ma qualche volta non ti adorava, e lui diceva, ma signore,
Sometimes,
i vacche dice mangiano secco, cioè era l'ora.
sometimes my mum said, but the meat was honey, to say, well, the cows just were eating the wrong thing. So this is enough.
Aspetta. Ma tu fai così.
Yeah, I want to show Louise.
Sì. Ah, c'è Luisa.
So Lou, I've put about 4 there, okay?
Yes.
Because if you freeze this, when you get them, they can actually snap off. So you'll get one separately. You don't want them to be like one on top of another.
Puro che vanno on the top of the other.
But the thing is, you could get the whole layer
Yes.
and you let it defrost and you've got 4. You cook them, one for lunch, one for dinner.
Allora,
Now.
non parlo di forbici.
So now you're going to do.
Where did my scissors go? The girls took them. And did Emily leave it on the couch? Are there a pair of scissors on the couch? Yes, I saw her take them and I thought she didn't put them back, did she?
No.
Che fai? Un mentone, tagliare, poi con coltello. No, non ci tagli Elena, tu sposta tu. Tu puoi dire più pequeno.
Yeah, I know, ma quando viene qua. All right.
Ok.
I just used a knife for that moment, but thanks, darling. Now, the whole point of this is you don't have to do this step. You can just prepare them, lay them on a plate, put a Glad wrap, put them in the fridge, cook them that evening, right? But because we're making so many, we're going to layer them.
Hundreds of them.
Well, because I guess you've got all the ingredients
No,
out. It's a
I
pain. And breadcrumbs and cheese, it spills everywhere.
Makes sense. 2 more.
My
And
favourite.
you're not going to put them in the Tupperware.
Well, I'm going to put the beef ones. These are chicken.
Ah.
I didn't get a
sorry,
lot
I
of
wasn't
chicken because
listening.
I thought just to try.
Yeah.
But there's enough for 2-3 meals.
Hello. Yeah.
So he butterflied the breast for me, but he didn't tenderize it because it was already very thin. It would break.
Right.
But as you can imagine, it needs to be thin because we're going to grill it.
Yeah.
Okay. So something like a, I don't know, the thickness of a 2-minute steak, or whatever they're called. I was going to say, Mum, do you know what you were doing this time? Let me get my maths right. Do you know what you were doing 66 years ago today? What were you doing?
Perché è febbraio?
Yeah, it's February. What is it?
Quanto ne abbiamo ora?
Today's the 19th.
Mamma mia!
What were you
Mamma
doing
mia.
66 years
Getting
ago?
ready for go to church.
Getting ready to go to church. Ma why? Ma why?
Wedding anniversary.
The wedding anniversary.
Mamma mia.
Oh,
That's what you were
how
doing.
fantastic. Nonna,
Look at you.
look at you.
66 years ago.
18
Bellissima.
anni.
How old?
18.
In English?
28.
18.
18. 18.
18.
Look at you. Give Dad a kiss. Give him a proper kiss.
18.
Dai uno sordo, tu lo davi.
So young.
Young.
I wouldn't marry today. 18 years old.
Yes, of course, Mum. We don't recommend it.
Like your girls are well past that.
Yes, and I'm still bringing them their bloody breakfast. Have some breakfast.
I think I always say this. I'm sure if my husband would have come today to New World, it's different.
Yeah.
I think because I love Jim, my husband, I think I was this one.
You'd still marry him. Well, that's good.
Really? That's good.
Well, that's a good sign.
That is a good sign.
Not because I'm arrabbio.
Not because you didn't get angry at him, but well, that's love, isn't it?
Wow.
Ne.
It's a work, it's a job being in a
good man.
relationship. Allora, questi sono fatti. So the chicken ones are done.
So you're going to put them in the freezer?
I'm going to put these in the fridge because I'm going to make them for you after so we can try them. We must try what we cook.
Well,
I love that.
Till after tomorrow it's all right.
Yeah, you can keep them in the fridge overnight for a day.
Oh, okay. See, I always get nervous about stuff like that. I would be whacking them straight in the freezer.
No, I'll cook them for you, and then she can
Yeah, cook it.
she
A
can
little
see.
grill.
This is Luisa.
Yeah.
Mas rigorosamente pure dell'alluminio foil on the grill.
Yeah.
No.
I'll show you
Fry
afterwards.
pan.
Okay.
So yes, now
What's
Orion,
going on now?
so we don't put this in a fry pan because then the crumbs will just fall off. So it's been massaged in that oil. It's been crumbed. If you leave it in the fridge overnight, it's a bit better, or for an hour,
Well, it's
because then the breadcrumbs stick. But we're going to make them fresh. So there's the beef and there's the chicken.
Right.
Right, now there's just the grilling setting. I'll put foil at the bottom or else it sticks to the tray. So I'm just going to put them in and let them grill a couple of minutes on each side. You just keep checking them, okay? And I'll show you. So that's done. Maybe 5?
Not very long. Well, they look yum.
Sarà beef for the man.
So
Delicious.
they're quick to cook. And I'll flip them over.
Yeah, lovely.
So it's sort of baking, grilling
Yes,
at the same time.
yes. Yum.
Here we go, and we're just about to sit and eat a cotelette, Al and Nonna, and fantastic. Look at these.
To you and Dad, Mum, agurani.
Aguru, say it again, aguri. Six.
We love you, Dad.
Oh, bless. How fantastic. Beautiful. Look at that. Fantastic. Look at this food. Amazing. We're going to eat. Ciao.